showcased on the channel. Not just a message, but any cryptid. Leave a comment with your thoughts, and don't forget to like this video, share it, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Thank you for watching Cryptid Central.
The all-new Kia Santos, with enough versatility to help you explore every version of you. Kia, movement that inspires.
Domino's best deal ever. Get any hand-tossed, pan, thin crust, or New York-style pizza with any toppings for only $13.99.
Hello, traveller, and welcome back to Cryptid Central. In this video, we'll be examining 25 creepy cryptids from across the world. Many strange things have been seen in Germany, Japan, and Australia, and I've managed to gather some information on them. Please have a seat, and I'll share with you what I've found. But just a quick thing I need to ask before we get started. You have locked your doors and windows, haven't you? Yaoshikepu, a part human, part spider kami that haunts the town of Abuta Toyura in Hokkaido, Japan. It has been sighted over many centuries. The legend says that once spirits cursed a villager of Abuta Toyura to see the destruction of his town. They sent a part spider, part human creature, Yaoshikepu, to fulfill the curse. Yaoshikepu caused rampant destruction, slaughtering so many innocents that the streets were filled with crimson blood. After hearing the...
Sorry.
Well, hello there, and welcome back to Cryptid Central. Today we'll be travelling to the Far East to take a look at the top 10 Japanese cryptids. Number 10, Yaoshikepu, a part human...
It's June 17th, 1952. A man is mixing chemicals in a home laboratory in Pasadena, California. He's filling a rush order for Hollywood, pyrotechnic effects for a film set. Or he would expect from someone who once built rockets for the U.S. military. Then 2 explosions rip through the building. Neighbors rush in and find him on the floor. He's terribly injured. Both legs are broken. Somehow, he's still conscious, still trying to speak. His last words are not finished yet. He dies 37 minutes later. He's 37 years old. Over the past century, scientists and leaders working on the edges of what's possible have had a habit of disappearing. Some walk in deserts and never come back. Some are found dead, under circumstances no one can explain. Some simply stop talking, as if someone turned off the switch. These 5. The man in the garage is Jack Parsons, and the police have no idea what they've walked into. Scattered around the wreckage are rocket film formulas, occult symbols, and drawings of ancient gods. Parsons is not just some chemist making movie effects in his garage. He helped invent castable solid rocket fuel and one-day power missiles in the space shuttle. He's one of the hidden fathers of the American space program. He also believes in some of the gods. Parsons never finished college. He teaches himself chemistry by stealing explosives from his day job and experimenting after hours. Then he walks into Caltech with no degree and talks his way into a job. His experiments were dangerous. Rockets explode. Equipment melts. Buildings were damaged. But the rockets work. Parsons discovers that mixing volatile propellant with asphalt can create a solid fuel that burns steadily instead of detonating. It's crude at first, then revolutionary. By the early 1940s, he helps found Aerojet, old rocket motors for the military, and became Jet Propulsion Laboratory to research them. When someone later calls Werner von Braun the father of rocketry, von Braun shakes his head and says Parsons deserves to take more. The college dropout is now one of America's most important rocket scientists. But by night, Parsons has another life. He leads the California branch of an occult society connected to Aleister Crowley, a man British satellites called the wickedest man in the world. Parsons fills a Pasadena mansion with occultists, artists, scientists, and science fiction writers. Before rocket tests, he chants pagan hymns over the ashes. To him, there is no contradiction. Rocketry frees the body from Earth. Magic frees the mind. Same mission. Then, L. Ron Hubbard walks through the door. The future founder of Scientology moves into Parsons' mansion. Together, they begin the Babylon working. A series of rituals meant to incarnate a goddess on Earth. Even Crowley is alarmed. He calls Parsons a fool, and Hubbard a con man. He's right about one of them. Hubbard runs off with Parsons' girlfriend and much of his money. Parsons fires. The FBI investigates it. The security clearance is revoked. The man who helped build American rocketry is banned from the field he created. So he ends up making movie explosives in his garage. And then comes the explosion. Police call it an accident, a drop can full of mercury. Colleagues say Parsons was too meticulous. Some believe the blast came from beneath the floorboards. His wife believes it was killed. Morphine is found in the trash. And weeks before Parsons dies, the corrupt LAPD captain who once helped convict for a car bomb is released from prison. No one is ever charged. Today, JPL barely mentions him. The rockets he helped make possible have carried machines beyond the edge of the solar system. The man who made the fuse is quietly erased. There's a crater on the moon named after Jack Parsons. It's on the far side, the one we almost never see. A man walks alone through the Love Desert of northwestern China. It's June 17th, 1980. Ground temperature, 145 degrees Fahrenheit. He's carrying a canteen, a camera, and a dagger. His team is asleep at camp. They've been out of water for 2 days. The military helicopter is already on its way. All he has to do is wait. Instead, he leaves a note in his notebook. Quote, I'm going east to find a well. By 3 p.m., the sandstorm rolls in. And fire signal flares every hour. He doesn't come back. Search teams follow his footprints for 5 kilometers. They stop at a patch of hard, rocky earth. One account claims that in the final stretch, only left footprints appear. His name is Peng Zhang. He's vice president of the Xinjiang branch of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. And the Chinese government is about to launch a massive search to find him. Helicopters, fixed-wing aircraft, hundreds of soldiers. 4,000 square kilometers combed across 4 separate operations. They find nothing. Not a bone. Not a shred of clothing. Peng wasn't just any scientist. He was a biochemist and plant biologist who had been exploring this region since 1956. The location is Lake North, a dry-up salt lake in Xinjiang that China used as its nuclear weapons test site from 1964 to 1996. It's a restricted military zone. You don't want to leave without authorization from the very top. His team would summon military helicopters by telegram. Unusual for biologists to survey potassium deposits and collecting soil samples. The theory started immediately. A Hong Kong newspaper reported it defected, spotted in a Washington, D.C. restaurant with 2 Americans. The witnesses denied everything. The case went cold. Then the internet arrived. Chinese forums erupted in 2009 with a legend called the Doublefish Jade Pendant. It claimed that beneath Mount Noor lay ancient ruins containing a device that could duplicate living matter. Scientists placed a fish in the legend artifact. 30 minutes later, a second identical fish appeared. Marked with meat. The legend claims this device duplicated the pendant. One walks out. The other doesn't. The government steals the site and announces them missing. An even wilder version is that Peng traveled back in time. That he became Wan Lan, an emperor who ruled China 2,000 years ago. An emperor who introduced strangely modern laws. In this era, produced scientific tools that shouldn't have existed yet. The legend took hold, because the real story hasn't been. In a landscape where Bronze Age mummies survive intact, one name from 1980 simply ceases to exist. Today, a stone memorial stands in the White Desert, scoured by wind. Buried beneath it is another box, containing letters from Peng's wife and children. The family had never got an answer. On February 27, 2026, retired Air Force Major General William Castle walks out of his home in Albuquerque. He leaves behind his phone, his prescription glasses, his smartwatch. He takes a red backpack, his wallet, and the .38 caliber revolver. His wife reports him missing within 3 hours. Drones, helicopters, search dogs, 700 households canvassed. Surveillance cameras cover both ends of the street. Not one captures which direction he goes.
I used to struggle with Andrew, but now I use Head and Shoulders every wash. Because the active ingredient in Head and Shoulders stops flakes where they start, leaving your scalp healthy and flake-free. From the #1 anti-dandruff shampoo in Canada, Head and Shoulders.
A state from Ontario needs new jails so criminals stay behind bars.
Sounds like Ojo time.
But Castle isn't just any missing person. From 2011 to 13, he ran the Air Force Research Laboratory, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. A $2.2 billion portfolio, advanced materials, exotic propulsion, future weapons. Wright-Patterson is the alleged final destination of debris from the 1947 Roswell crash. In 2016, hacked emails released by WikiLeaks named him directly in UFO disclosure efforts. His disappearance comes 8 days after Trump orders the Pentagon to begin releasing government files on UAPs and aliens. And Castle isn't the only one. In December 2025, MIT plasma scientist Nino Guerrero is shot in the foyer of his Brooklyn home. His daughter opens the front door. The man is holding a package. She thinks it's a delivery driver. Her father replaces her at the door. Guerrero is one of the world's leading experts in magnetic reconnection, a key problem standing in the way of nuclear fusion. Solve it, and you get closer to unlocking essentially unlimited clean energy. In February 2026, Caltech astronomer Carl Romero was shot in the porch of his California home. His specialty is infrared space telescopes that track asteroids and comets. The same technology the military uses to track satellites and hypersonic missiles. 2 months earlier, the man was arrested on Romero's property carrying a loaded rifle. The judge released him, told him to take a gun safety course. He comes back. Between those two events, NASA material scientist Monica Reza vanishes on a hiking trail. She's 30 feet behind the group, and she's gone. 8 days of searching turned up her being 400 yards off the trail. Nothing else. Reza co-invented a super alloy called Mondomoy that ended America's dependence on Russian rocket engines. It was developed under McCaskill's lab. The scientist who solved one of America's hardest propulsion problems, and the general who oversaw the lab when it happened. Both gone within 8 months of each other. By April 2026, the count reaches 11. Fusion, propulsion, energy, space surveillance. Some shot, some vanished. Some found under circumstances no one can explain. The House Oversight Committee launches an investigation. The FBI confirms it's looking for connections. Trump tells reporters, quote, "I hope it's random. Pretty serious stuff." But here's the thing. More than 1 million Americans hold top secret security clearances. Over any stretch of years, thousands of them will die. Skeptics say that's not a pattern. It's just math. That doesn't stop people, like constitutional lawyer Daniel Sheehan. He describes a covert circle of retired officials from the DoD, CIA, and private aerospace, quietly working to bring classified UAP programs under oversight. The real crown jewels, he says, aren't weapons or hard drives. They're the minds that solve the problems no one else could. And those minds keep disappearing. In 1956, a manila envelope arrives at the Office of Naval Research in Washington. It's addressed to an admiral. Someone scrawled "Happy Easter" on the front. Inside is a beat-up paperback about UFOs. Every page is covered in handwritten notes. 3 colors of ink. 3 different hands. The notes describe a secret Navy experiment that went catastrophically wrong. 2 ONR officers take a personal interest. Captain Sidney Shirley and Commander George W. Hoover. Not an official investigation, the Navy would later insist, but enough interest to bring the original author in. The book is called The Case for the UFO. The author is an astronomer named Morris K. Jessup. They show him the annotated copy. Jessup reads the margins and recognizes the handwriting immediately. It belongs to a man named Carlos Allende. He's been sending Jessup strange letters for months. His claims are extraordinary. October 1943, the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. Allende says the Navy fitted the destroyer escort USS Eldridge with powerful electromagnetic generators. He switched them on. A greenish haze surrounded the ship, and the Eldridge vanished. Teleporting over 200 miles from Philadelphia to Norfolk, Virginia, and back in moments. Allende says crew members were fused into the hull. Others were insane. Some disappeared entirely. Jessup dismissed him as a prank. But now 2 Navy officers are treating this material like it matters. And Jessup can't figure out why. Then the Navy does something stranger. Shelby and Hoover take the annotated book to a military contractor called the Barrow Corporation. They have them print 25 copies of the Allende's letters as appendices. The print run is never explained. Jessup visits the ONR several more times. Each visit leaves him more shaken. He tells a friend he's close to understanding the science behind what the Navy found. And it's real. And then it involves space and time. But then everything collapses. His wife leaves. His publisher rejects his manuscripts. He tells a colleague he'd been pulled into, quote, completely insane world of unreality. In October of 1958, Jessup shows up at the door of researcher Ivan Sanderson. He's carrying his personal copy of the Barrow issue, the one filled with his own notes. He asks Sanderson to keep it safe, in case anything happens to him. 5 months later, Targeton in Dade County, Florida, finds Jessup dead in a station wagon. A hose runs from the exhaust pipe to the rear window. The wound is self-inflicted carbon monoxide poisoning, but for a man supposedly acting alone and in despair, the setup is meticulous. The hose is wired to the exhaust pipe. The rags through the window are soaking wet for an airtight seal. No water source nearby. His briefcase, seen with him that morning, is gone. Florida law requires an examination. Nothing is performed. His wife refuses to identify the body. Says her husband would never have done this. The man who does identify it, a supposed friend named Leon Sewell, is someone no one in Jessup's life has ever heard of. His notes are gone. His research is gone. 10 years later, Carlos Allende confesses he made the whole thing up. Calls his own annotations, quote, the craziest paper lies I ever read. But in the same breath, he insists teleportation actually happened. And he disappears. And he resurfaces and recants his confession. Nobody knows what Morris Jessup found before his death. His book is still out there, still annotated, in 3 colors leading. It's the year 2000. A physicist named Lily Lee invites reporters from Popular Mechanics to her laboratory in Huntsville, Alabama. She shows them a 12-inch disc. When this device is finished, she tells them, place a bowling ball anywhere above it. It will stay exactly where you put it. Not falling, not floating, suspended. Gravity effectively cancels it out. Every physicist on Earth will tell you this is impossible. Lee disagrees. Inside the disk, ions spin more than a quadrillion times per second. Each one generates its own tiny gravitational field. Line them up, and the fields combine. Feed the disk 1 kilowatt of electricity. That's less than the toaster uses. And according to Lee, it's enough to neutralize gravity above a 1-foot wide column. Not just above the disk, from the ground, all the way to outer space. NASA is interested. The U.S. Army is interested. And they're not the only ones. Across the Atlantic, EAE Systems has quietly launched its own anti-gravity program. They call it Project Rainbow. Private investors approach her with money. She turns them all down. They want control over the technology. She won't give it to them. In 2001, the Defense Department awards her company a grant of $448,970. The results are never made public. But the company's business license keeps getting renewed every year through 2018. In May 2003, she sends a private email to colleagues. She says she observed 11 kilowatts of output effect during an experiment. Nobody knows what that number means. After that email, the record goes dark. Journalists try to reach her. Some are deep in her emails. Nobody replies. In 2008, physicist Jack Sarfati goes on camera. Lee has disappeared, he says. Gone back to China. They're pouring money into the same research. The Pentagon can't reach her. But Lee never left. Her son confirms she's traveled to Redstone Arsenal every morning. It's one of the U.S. military's most important weapons research facilities. She has a top secret clearance. She simply isn't allowed to talk. When Lee's mother dies in China, she tries to go home to the funeral. The U.S. government denies her permission to leave the country. In 2014, Lee is struck by a car while crossing the street. The accident caused permanent brain damage. Lee is diagnosed with Alzheimer's. She never returns to work. She dies on July 27th, 2021. Requests to release her research have been denied. Her files remain classified. She's not the only one. Amy Eskridge graduates from the same university where Lee worked. She's also researching anti-gravity propulsion. In 2022, she's found dead under circumstances ruled self-inflicted. On a month earlier, she told a friend that if something happened to her, don't believe it was her story. Same university, same fear, both gone. Whenever Amy made discovery, she took it with her. Government kept the rest. Which of these 5 cases do you think has the most dangerous answer? Let me know in the comments. As always, thank you for watching Dark 5. Like and subscribe to continue exploring the greatest mysteries of this world and beyond.
Hello, Random Ontario. My name's Doug. I'm just going to call you Doug. Listen, Doug. Come On is an award-winning betting machine. We're talking live betting, brilliant odds, a bet builder that will blow your mind. Well, come on.
Project Heart. On the windswept coast of Barbados, buried in coal and forgotten by history, lies a weapon so powerful it could shot satellites into space. It was supposed to change the world. Instead, it vanished into silence, abandoned, ignored, perhaps deliberately erased. This is Project Heart, the Cold War experiment that built the largest gun on Earth, and then abandoned it. In 1961, as the space race heated up, a Canadian engineer named John pitched an audacious idea. Forget rockets. Use a cannon instead. It sounded insane until the U.S. Army and Canadian military agreed to fund it. They called it the High Altitude Research Project, HARP, not to be confused with the HARP project in Alaska, which later theories then latched onto. This was different. This was real. At its heart, a supergun made by welded together 2 16-inch battleship barrels, each over 65 feet long, weighing 140 tons. Smooth with a 16.4-inch bore, mounted on a reinforced concrete platform near sea level. The final weapon stretched nearly 120 feet and weighed more than 200 tons. Its firing angle was 128 degrees magnetic, pointed straight out to sea. While its distance was limited, workers built temporary tracks across scorching coal over sugar fields, relaying the rails every few meters as Caterpillar tractors dragged the barrels uphill. One sailor died in the offload. The island held its breath. When the gun fired, it was apocalyptic. Windows shattered. Coconut trees bent. Sea turtles reportedly fled when the wind. Red warning flags hoisted before each test, but the locals were never told much, just to scare away. Inside the gun, experimental projectiles called markets, long thin ducts left in looking silos to protect them from the crushing 15,000 G-forces at launch. Some carried weather sensors, others released chemical tracers, all are designed to punch through the upper atmosphere and leave it into space. And in November 1966, one completed. Fired from sister site in Arizona, Morton was sold to 112 miles, a gun launched altitude, and still stands to this day. And just as hard near orbit, the politics turned. NASA backed rockets. The Vietnam War drained U.S. funds. Canada pulled support. Barbados, battered by sonic blasts and falling debris, refused to cover damages. In 1967, HARP was quietly shut down. Bull didn't give up. He founded Space Research Corporation and took his expertise elsewhere to regimes that were out of power but lacked rockets. One of them was Saddam Hussein. By the late 1980s, Bull was designing a new supergun for Iraq, Project Babylon, a cannon so massive it could fire satellites or warheads into orbit. Before it could be completed, Bull was assassinated in Brussels in 1991. 5 bullets, no witnesses. Intelligence sources still point to the sky. Today, the Barbados guard still lies resting in the coral scrub. No signs, no guards, no explanation. Just a Titanic barrel, stripped naked by sea air, still aimed at the sky. Quick confession. The biggest mystery I tackled this week wasn't on Dark 5. It was the vanishing act when all the earbuds pulled. Silver lining? I upgraded on the spot. And you can too. Keep today's sponsor, Raycon. Score 20% off right now. Buy Raycon.com/dark5 and grab Raycon's new everyday earbuds classic with active noise cancellation before they disappear. I used to save my Raycon just for liking. The new ANC upgrades have become my go-to anytime I'm on the road, especially when I'm traveling. When I'm on the road, I want a pocket-sized keyboard that still performs. 8 hours of playtime, 32 in the case. Snug, stay put fit, and survive some results in turbulence. Active noise cancellation, locking on a script mid-flight. And a wireless mode where I'm leaving what's happening around while checking out a new city in Twitter. If you need earbuds that punch your bucket awake, and you'd like to keep Dark 5 digging out mysteries, tap the link in the description or head to buyRaycon.com/DARK in the number 5 for an exclusive 20% off the fan favorite everyday earbuds classic. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video and for making my lost and found story and on a high note. Beneath the divided road lies the ghost of a forgotten future. One that almost took us to Mars. Hidden in the sands of jackass flats, a cower in test stands, busted out lines, and bunkers designed to survive the blast of a nuclear-powered rocket engine. They were built for a mission never launched, and a technology that might still be decades ahead of its time. This was Project Nerva, a nuclear engine for rocket vehicle application. A top-secret collaboration between NASA and the Atomic Energy Commission, born out of Cold War urgency and post-Apollo mission. By the late 1960s, engineers believed the adult version could take humans to Mars. And then it was cancelled. Not because it failed, but because it worked too well and terrified the wrong people. The idea was simple. Use a small nuclear reactor to superheat liquid hydrogen and blast it into a rocket nozzle. The result was a specific impulse, nearly double that of any chemical engine. In spaceflight terms, that meant faster missions, heavier fuels, and the very real possibility of deep space colonization. But the engineering was anything but simple. To test the engines, they built a city in the wasteland. Jackass Flats, otherwise known as Area 25, came home to the nuclear rocket development station, a concrete shield walls, buried railroad tracks, and cryogenic tanks the size of office buildings rode from the desert floor. Reactor names like Kiwi, Pee-wee, and Phoebus became synonymous with bleeding-edge propulsion and risk. With the engine maintenance and disassembly facility, entire reactors rolled in on rail cars and taken apart by robotic arms behind leaded glass. Just down the road, test cells A and C belched plumes of radioactive steam into the sky, like glowing exhausts thick with fission fires. And when the was tested, the engine was deliberately pushed in a temple of nuclear destruction. It exploded as predicted, but would contaminate half a mountain with uranium shards and sizzling dust. At its peak, the Nerva program employed thousands. Presidents toured the site. Plans called for a Mars mission by 1981. The nuclear shot 30 feet from a pending lunar base, and a grand tour of the outer planets. The future was so close, the heat roar. And then, in 1973, just as the first engines were about to be certified for flight testing, the program was abruptly shut down. After cuts, Vietnam, Hero followed, both liberal and political. Saturn V was grounded. Nerva was shelved.